Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Blind View here on Rumble and some other channels. And here's your host, Miss Rebecca Meadows.
Or maybe not quite yet. I'm Brandon Miller. I am not Becca Meadows. I don't know what happened. We were just in conversation with her.
Hey, y'all. I'm here
Becca,
too.
I think you're muted.
That is the ever-pleasant Anya speaking.
That's correct.
And I believe there's
And
another
I'm here
gentleman.
as well.
And there he is. That's Mr. Paul Tandy speaking right there to all
Oh,
of you.
yes. I'm sorry about that.
You need not be sorry. I mean, if we really didn't want you, you wouldn't be here. Okay, so you don't need to be sorry. It's okay.
Is that how that works? If you didn't want me here, I wouldn't be here. Huh. Is that how that works?
I mean, there's three of us and one of you, so
we want you, Paul. Don't worry.
Thank you.
We do.
Maybe you just need to tap your microphone. Remember the mute on the microphone?
Y'all are the only people who've ever once said that to me.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. There she is.
I'm sorry. I thought I was using this mic attached to the headphones. Okay, thanks, darling. Love you too, baby.
That is the actual Becca, you guys, from Becca's World. No fooling. I know I say many crazy things, but that really actually is her.
Oh, that's also the one who's written books and has bumper stickers for her cars that she'll hopefully will drive one day.
Yes.
Right?
And
coffee mugs.
Oh, yes.
Which I resonate with.
What did you say?
Oh, the coffee mugs. I resonate with those.
You resonate with those?
Exciting to me.
Butterfly Enterprises. Robert and 7 other friends follow this creator. Check out their live video. Attachment.
You see, guys, 7 other friends. You see, Becca is a popular lady, you see. So we're lucky that she's here spending time with us.
She has 7 other friends? Well, that's 7 more than I have.
And we're lucky to get to spend some of our time this evening with Becca as well, I feel. I don't know about everybody else, but that's what I feel.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, you guys, we're getting so much unpacking done, and like we're it's really feeling like home here now.
Well, that's good. It's gonna get better day by day. So
yeah.
And it really will. I mean, I say that because summer is my favorite season. Still, even living in Phoenix, summer is still my favorite season. So beautiful.
I think I probably like fall because fall is one of those seasons where things start to kind of cool down a little bit, and it always reminds me, being that I'm from Alaska, whenever I experience fall in a t-shirt, it kind of reminds me of Alaska and when things would start to cool down. Granted, it got a lot cooler than the fall here does here in California, but
I feel like every season brings something unique about it. Like my personal favorite is the spring, but winter, of course, has its holidays, Christmas, New Year's, and fall has this pumpkin spice and lots of pumpkin fishes and this apple cider, and it's just so cool. And summer is usually, for me, it's like national convention or just going to the lake or going on vacation or something like that. And of course, spring, when everything is waking up.
Oh, yes.
That's true, actually. I do resonate with that perspective as well.
I've always liked spring and summer, being from Minnesota and Montana. But honestly, I lived in Phoenix for like 11 years, and I kind of got too hot. So I've now been Payson, which is not nearly as cold as it is up in Montana and Minnesota, but it's a little bit cooler.
Well, I think Brandon and I maybe discussed this, and maybe we've discussed this as well, Anya, and on the podcast. I don't remember, but I do know that a lot of people talk about the differences between, say, a dry heat and a wet heat. And while I haven't been to Arizona before, I can tell you from California to Missouri, Missouri in the Midwest is a wet heat, California is a dry heat, and there is a whale of a difference.
Yeah, it is. And I think wet heat is harder to tolerate.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm from Minnesota, and Minnesota in the summer is so unbearable with its humidity. And those of us who've been to the National Federation of the Blind National Conventions in Orlando, we all know how sticky and humid and miserable Orlando is in July, you know? There's a
Well,
lot of humid states that are miserable in the heat.
I will tell you, I've been to Minnesota, Iowa. I think we was on the border of North Dakota, Missouri, and Arkansas. And I will tell you, out of all the places that was the most humid, it was Arkansas. I can't tell you why that is, but oh my goodness, it was tough. Well, I guess I've been to Kansas as well, but Arkansas was, oh, that was tough. I think that's the worst I probably ever felt.
You know, a few years ago, I was with a roommate and we made several road trips to and from Texas, right?
Mm.
And I remember I was surprised. I had never been to Texas before. And I was surprised when we drove into Texas, it was like I suddenly became covered with water, right? Like the moisture just stuck to me. And the whole time we were in Texas, I thought, oh my God, this heat is so miserable. And then I went back to Texas later on when it was cold, and I thought, oh my God, it's so effing cold.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that does happen if you go to say places like San Francisco. You know, it's not really all that warm in San Francisco. When it gets past 70s, people are complaining, and it's really kind of I don't know if a foggy feel is the way that I would describe.
Oh yeah,
it, but there's a foggy feel even in the summertime. So when that wind comes and starts to bite at you, it is a real feeling.
Yeah.
But I guess not that this is my show, but I guess we do have some topics to discuss, and I didn't know who wanted to kind of talk about their stuff first, or what the situation was.
I could start. I want to just talk about Trump's ongoing war against Iran. And I just want to talk about the newest development since we met last week. You know what I mean?
Well, there have been some certainly new developments.
Yes. I keep hearing Trump say that the Iranians have given up or whatnot, but I don't hear the Iranians saying, yeah, we gave up. You know what I mean? Or whatever. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Well, he keeps giving him time to come to the table. So, I mean, I trust Trump in terms of, you know, he knows how to bluff. He knows how to pressure. He knows how to get his way. So, I mean, because the left is losing their minds and screaming and stomping their feet, it's a good sign, you know. Like,
yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I'm very happy what happened last night. Because I intimated last week, but more to the point of this week, I was very unhappy with the whole civilization comment, you know. And so I breathed a breath of thanksgiving and appreciation last night. My gosh, I'm really, really, really glad that and I do feel like the Iranians, you know, were the ones to blink, metaphorically speaking. You know, I'm glad the ceasefire was reached. Now I'm mad at Israel.
What did you say about Israel?
I'm mad at them now because last night a ceasefire was reached, and now today they go and bomb Lebanon. It's like, man, you guys just can't quit, can you?
Yeah, well, Lebanon is different than Iran, I think. I haven't seen a map of I haven't seen the world in like 36 years, so I'm not sure where Lebanon is in relation to Iran.
I hope that we as America can work out an arrangement with Iran. It looks like we're trying to do that. You know, and so I was very, very thankful that happened.
You know what I wish about the Iranian leadership? Listen, they're like one of the richest countries in the world, right? Because they have all that oil. Now think about it. If their leaders would change their hearts and minds and start passing laws to support their people becoming successful in business and in getting good education, getting access to good medical care, and get access to all the opportunities like we have here. Imagine Iran could become more powerful and more successful and more beloved around the world than the United States has ever been. You know that? But instead, their rulers are tyrants. You know what I mean?
I mean, they have been, and I agree with that. They have chanted death to America and death to Israel. They have done that, and so I can see the point of people who like I didn't like Donald Trump's rhetoric about their civilization might not exist, but it's kind of fair is fair because they have. It is true they have chanted death to America, death to Israel for decades now.
Pretty equal response, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It is, but I mean, we have nuclear weapons, but I mean, that's never good. All the people who have war gamed it out say, man, if whoever starts with nukes, it's not going to end well. It's the whole mutually assured destruction doctrine, right? It's not going to end well. So I'm glad that we didn't do that.
No, and I didn't think we were going to do this because I think Trump is level-headed and he has a good administration and he has to say what he has to say, and just expect them to respond the way he wants them to respond. And he's not the first one to mention that kind of rhetoric.
And I know that every time he says something outlandish, we hear about it in the news and the liberals make a big deal out of it. But every time he says something outlandish, it just makes me kind of chuckle because all he's doing is getting under their skin, getting under their, getting their goat and getting them distracted from the real issues, and I really think Trump is playing them a lot of the time. You know what I mean?
I know.
With the stuff that he says.
Well, you can like him or hate him, but I will tell people, and I've said this to people who I know ain't the biggest fans of him. I said, look, Trump is a genius in the sense of the people at CNN, the people at ABC, the people at CBS, all them can talk about how they hate Trump so much. But Trump is paying their bills because people are watching. Whenever they talk about Trump, they get money. When their ratings are great, they get money for that, and for that they've made him a lot of money. I mean, they I beg your pardon, he's made them a lot of money, and so it'll be interesting to see once he's gone, kind of what they talk about at that point, because now it's Trump, and once he's gone, what are they gonna go with then?
Well, he's gonna continue lying for the Democrat Party. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, they can't call themselves news. It's just the arm of the Democrat Party, like their megaphone, basically.
Well, I do think that I do agree with you, Anya, that right now, whatever you watch, right now, I think is most medias are very biased right now, and whether you watch the right or the left, they're going to put their spin on it, and that's what we're doing now more, I think, than actual reporting. So,
have you guys heard of the Epoch Times though? I think they're traditional journalists, and I really appreciate them.
Oh, I haven't looked at the Epoch Times in a while. I wonder how a person can get the Epoch Times when they're blind. Is that on what's the Newsline? Is Epoch Times on Newsline? Does anybody?
I'm not. Oh, I used to just be I'm a former subscriber. I used to just be a subscriber of theirs, and I just use their app.
Is it Epoch?
Oh, they have an app. Okay.
Yeah. EPOCH.
Epoch is how it's pronounced.
Epoch Times, yeah.
Epoch or Epoch?
Epoch is how it's pronounced.
Oh, is it a cousin of Tupac?
I don't know why they call themselves that, but I know that as a matter of fact, though, because they have
is it out of Israel or Great Britain or something like that?
No, it's out of America because they started by exposing the atrocities of China, and but China wanted to do their worst to those journalists, so they came to America, and started the Epoch Times, and so that
Right, but don't you have to have a subscription? Because I don't think you can read anything free from there.
correct. That's why I say
Yeah.
I'm a former subscriber. I'm not a current subscriber, but
A lot of medias are doing that these days. You got to subscribe to kind of read the full articles of things. A lot
Are
of them
you? Are any of you Newsline subscribers? Because I think I used to be on Newsline, and I think Epoch Times is on Newsline, perhaps.
NFB Newsline.
Yeah.
I've
No,
seen it a lot. I'm not on it though.
And if
I
English
used
line gives you access to everything else, like everything what's there to read for free. But if it is within the network, like within the certain news organization that they charge for certain things, you can't read them just because you're on a news line.
Yeah. Well,
So
I
does
think I'm gonna-
Newsline have like CNN, Fox?
Yes, they
ABC?
do.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I haven't logged into my Newsline in so long. I need to call my reader advisor and find out what my logon info is so I can log in there and just start reading. Like, I usually just tune into like Newsmax on my phone or something, but I should like actually read some of this print literature or print news,
Yeah. Well, I heard it's still kind of on a topic of Trump, but not necessarily about the war. It's about the news, rather. I can't remember which one of those alphabet networks, SMBC or something. No, they're doing an investigation into all these fraud claims, the healthcare fraud, and I think they've been pretty successful. They uncovered some really big money scammed away, like.
In Minnesota?
No, not in Minnesota. I read somewhere today that one doc got busted for I can't remember the number of the claims, but if you do average, it's like he was seeing one patient every 7 seconds. That's how often he was charging. Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
so there's, and I heard DOJ started some big investigation into all these hospices that are in Los Angeles, like.
Oh, good.
Los Angeles County has more hospices registered than anywhere in the state. It's just,
That is interesting.
and mysterious part about those hospices is that the patients never die. They just
They just stay there and keep racking up bills for the taxpayers to pay, huh?
I know.
That is interesting. And I don't know if we want to, but I think that does kind of lead into your topic of the day.
My topic? Oh, yeah. Well, Becca,
I don't know if you wanted to do that, but
No, I don't have anything else. Let's go, Anya.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw an email what I was going to talk about. Just to give you some food for thought, so you have some thoughts gathered by now, like about the concept of euthanasia. Like it's been pretty big story now. People are talking a lot about it. So
yeah.
Are you guys familiar with who Terry Schiavo is or was?
Yeah, but I'm also familiar with a much more recent case, though.
Oh, what's that?
Well, I'm speaking of. I believe she was a quadriplegic. I think a paraplegic or a quadriplegic.
Oh, you're talking about Noelia Castillo.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was euthanized on March 26th of this year at the age of 25.
Oh.
And it was a long battle in courts in Spain. Her dad really didn't want her to die.
Was she not able to speak up on her own behalf? Or what was her situation?
No, she did.
She did, and she has had a lot of mental issues. She was sexually assaulted twice. She was gang raped, and like she lost her mind. Like she was just so miserable. She could not deal with herself after those cases, and I think that's just not. It's not just that. There was more going on with her, and then she decided to kill herself, and she jumped off the roof, but the jump was unsuccessful, so it basically paralyzed her after that.
And then they just euthanized her?
That's how she...
They euthanized her like she was an animal? That is so wrong. I'm sorry, that just shocks me. But what country was that in? That was overseas somewhere, you said, right?
Spain. But Canada is practicing this too. I mean, you guys have your chance to opine on that for sure, but I want to say like my stance on that is I'm definitely against euthanasia. Euthanasia as a concept. I mean, if you go into like medical, go to the doctors. Doctors are there to heal, not to kill.
Mhm.
And it's a slippery slope. Like, that's how it started. So first it's terminally ill, then it starts expanding. They euthanize in Canada many people who simply asked to. Like when you're depressed or something, this is a temporary state of being. Instead of addressing mental health crisis, they just
Yeah,
give
they
you
just
yeah.
I don't like it either. I don't like it either. As somebody who does stand and advocate from a pro-life perspective, yeah, I don't like it either. I mean,
But the question would be, and for the record, I certainly have an opinion on it. But the question would be: there's two states in the United States right now, Oregon and another one, I forget who it is, that have basically the policy of, as a human, you have the right to die, and if you want to, that is your right. Now, me personally, I am not for that. I will say that right now, right here and now, I'm not for that. But what about that argument that people make? What is your counter argument to that?
my argument would be, okay, I can understand the concept that we as individual humans, yes, indeed, do have the right to die how we want to, but I do not think that it should be assisted by anyone else. I mean, if you want to do that,
so you shouldn't have a doctor assisting you. Is that what you're saying?
correct, or anybody else.
Well, I don't understand why people have made such a big deal about the right to die, because everybody knows you can just overdose on a whole bunch of medications and alcohol at home and do it. You know what I mean?
I know exactly my point too. Like you don't need state sponsored death assistance. I mean, if you're really that bad, like if you really want to die, I mean, there's so many ways to die. Let's just be honest.
Throw yourself in front of a semi truck, throw yourself off a bridge, like hang yourself. There's all kinds of ways to die, and the people
go ahead.
It's harder to stay alive, and I think dying, like committing suicide, is taking the easy way out.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I just was gonna say, I mean, yeah, but it seems like to me though that, okay, in the states where they've legalized euthanasia, it would be easy for very sick and sadistic people to manipulate the legal and lawful framework. Basically, this is oversimplified, but basically they could say, oh, I mean, I knew I have video evidence that, he or she was severely depressed. And so I just helped them. It was a mercy what I did. And, they said they wanted to die. But this person has no mental health credentials. They have no medical credentials. They're just a sick person that manipulates people who are vulnerable. And uses the framework of, but euthanasia is legal in this state, so I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one of the ways where it can get off of the rails. Yeah. But go ahead, Paul. You've been
No. I just, for me, it's not something that I support. But I certainly know people who have, and and so their argument is, well, hang on, I have that right if I want to. So. But I guess
go do it yourself. Okay. Well, sounds like we're going on a commercial break.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us, and we'll be right back after these messages. Hi, it's me, your favorite author, Rebecca S. Meadows, here with another message. You can go up to Amazon and search Rebecca Meadows author to get your hands on each of my books. And each book is available in Kindle, digital download, Amazon print on demand, or on Audible. So enjoy, and please send me an email at beccameadows76@gmail.com and let me know what you thought of my book, okay? Oh, and please go up and write a review for me too. Thank you. Peace out.
All right, sounds like we are back.
We are
Well,
back.
I just one more comment on euthanasia. Like, I wouldn't mind if it was used like as as a death sentence, like in prison. If you're super nasty person who committed many crimes like killing children, or you can imagine the list of the crimes that would qualify in your head. Yeah, that definitely I would. But when we go to young people with somebody who is temporary, because these feelings are temporary in many cases, and people can be still, everything shall pass, and then if maybe a year later you will feel better.
Yeah. I agree with you, Anya.
I would say, going down the road of prisons and the death penalty, kind of to where we're leaning, and I don't know if we want to go down this rabbit hole, but that is an interesting one because, all the people that are on death row, there are lawyers and people trying to keep that person alive. And those lawyers are all pro bono. They're all paid by, I forget if it's state or federally, to keep that person alive. And some of those people on death row, they're on there for 10, 20, 30 years. Actually, one of my very, very close friends was murdered, and that guy's been on death row since like 1994. And he said that there was, or his lawyer said there was an unfair trial or something like that. But the thing is we all know he did it. Everybody knows he did it. So to me, if you believe in death row, which I know is kind of an interesting subject for a lot of people, if you believe in it, then he should not even be here anymore. But the lawyers didn't
wait a minute though. I want you to clarify something, if you can. What do you mean when you say we all know that?
Like there was witnesses. There was people who seen her car and her the next day once she was passed. So the long and the short of it is she got mad at her husband and she goes, "Oh, I'm leaving." And I'm walking out of the car. So she walked out of the car and she was fixing to go, I think, to like her grandmother's or her mom's work, which was a couple miles away. And this was like 10 o'clock at night. And then the next day she didn't show. So there was some witnesses. And
did they find her?
Oh yeah, they found her. Oh, they found her. Yeah.
What happened to her?
Well, she was raped and murdered is what happened. And so the thing is like, I don't understand why he's still around. And my friend kind of agrees. And granted, she's obviously, one could say she's biased, but looking at it from an objective perspective, like if there was witnesses who said they heard her yelling, if there's witnesses that said that they heard her say different things, when he kind of admits that he did it, because he did admit he did it, like, I don't understand why he's still here.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, causation doesn't necessarily equal correlation. It often does, but it doesn't necessarily equal correlation, right? So we just want to make sure that we're not just basing decisions off of hearsay.
I agree with you, because that's very dangerous. They say 2 out of 5 people in prison are wrongfully there. So I do agree with that, but yeah, it goes down a slippery slope, and I know we wasn't really going down this one. So,
well, come on, Brandon, you know very well. Okay, you may have doubts about, well, maybe not doubts, but questions about case Paul is describing, but you know damn well that that they keep those people who are set to be dead for way too damn long, and it should.
That's my point.
I
that's
agree.
all my point is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree that they do. For example, like an indisputed think of, well, and I think he passed away now. From what cause I don't remember, but the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world, the Timothy McVeighs of the world, the Ed Geins of the world, people who we know based on fingerprint DNA evidence that they did, or some of them even admit, yeah, I did it. They admit that they did it. And still they're there for 15, 20, 30, 40 years. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, you know what happened to Jeffrey Dahmer, right?
No.
I heard he got eaten in prison.
Oh, that's interesting.
Gone.
Yeah. Let's see.
Back in the 90s.
I mean, 'cause that's pretty disturbing, right? It's like, who would do that?
Yeah, but see, you keep these people on a death row for so long, and then you're so willing and so quick to put down like a dog, a person who is having some issues. I mean, even if they feel like they want to die, it's still. I mean, I don't know. We've already covered this, but my stance is definitely against it, and it's totally. If you involve the government into this, it can get easily out of hand and manipulated and exploited, and it can get really, really ugly. And it's already.
I mean, after all, we already see how they're manipulating what's supposed to be care for children who really do need it. Autistic children and children with Down syndrome, and they're manipulating the hell out of that in multiple states.
Who is they? Oh, you mean the government?
Oh, it's not the government. No, it's random individuals loading up on fraudulent schemes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that pretty much covers my topic. I mean, who wants to go next?
Well, I can, and sorry, Becca, I didn't mean to kind of take over the podcast earlier, or try to guide where this is going. I know this is your show, so I do beg your pardon for that.
Oh, don't feel bad about it. As far as I'm concerned, we're all co-hosts here, right? I mean, it's not called the Becca Show; it's called the Blind View.
Well, you are the host.
I don't Becca's world.
Yeah, it's on Becca's world.
It is on Becca's world. So my topic is not nearly as interesting. I just want to admit that to the listeners. I was wanting to kind of discuss, because I've been kind of doing a lot of this lately.
Stop talking?
Why, producer, do you hate me? Okay, that's what I want to know. That's my topic right now is, why do you hate me? What you got for that?
Yeah.
He thinks you're monkeying around.
I
Are
guess
you monkeying around?
I can't answer that question. But the question that I have is what, or how do you guys, as individuals who are blind, how do y'all prefer to do research? Whether that be via AI or via the web, or do you prefer to do it like on your mobile devices or on the computer? Because I've been doing a lot of research and applying for different jobs and that kind of a thing. And for me anyway, as a completely blind person, I find that I am a lot better on the computer than I am on the phone. I've done things on the phone and I can navigate the phone, but I just find I'm a lot more comfortable. And I didn't know kind of how y'all felt about that, or what y'all's thoughts was.
Well, I'll say very quick. Don't sell it short. I wouldn't say that it's not like it's a less interesting topic. It's just less depressing. But it's still useful.
Okay.
Well, I can answer. I can say, with AI lately, the research has become a lot easier for me. Because when you Google something, you have to go through these links and trip over different ads, and it's so hard to navigate. Oh my gosh, it's just page jumps. So I use a lot ChatGPT for my research, but again, I have to caution everybody: ChatGPT is not as ideal as it may seem to some people. As easy and logical and all that, like it does have its biases, and very strong biases. I fight with it quite frequently.
Would you like? Can you give an example of one of those biases by chance? I'd love to kind of know.
Oh, absolutely. So recently, so you guys heard about the Supreme Court case in Colorado, where Supreme Court turned down their case when they were saying that they call it so-called conversion therapy. So basically what it means, very briefly, so if your kid thinks that he's the opposite sex, and you send him to therapy. So currently in Colorado, as it had been. So therapists cannot tell you, no, honey, let's talk. Like you're a girl, like you're not a boy, and you start talking into about underlying issues, like why did this kid come to this idea? So basically, they had only the route of pushing kids forward. Oh yes, let's convert you. Yeah, you'll be better in a different body. All this woke nonsense, all this trans ideology. That's all the therapist was supposed to push. And one of the therapists sued because she said it was her right to treat her patients the way she feels right. So if she feels like she does not need to push gender therapy on them, she should be able to do that. And Colorado said, no, you cannot do this. You have to follow what we say. So she sued and she won. So sorry, it's still on introduction, but basically I was arguing with somebody on Facebook about this, and I came to ChatGPT, and I was, I told ChatGPT, okay, this is what I want to say. Point 1, point 2, point 3. Put it succinctly. Put it in a good writing. And I said, it's okay. The therapist says a girl is a girl and boy is a boy. Like, well, I'm not going to say that because it starts telling me all this like woke nonsense. Because why I cannot say? I was like, listen, cut it out. Like, you're here to serve me. So you tell me. And we went back and forth. And eventually I said, fuck you. I'm going to add my lines if I wish to. Just do what you can. And add, like, okay, all right, do what you want. But this is not going to be a good argument. Or
You will argue with ChatGPT?
Well, I actually can confirm what you're saying, though. I have another buddy that just told me last night that he has asked ChatGPT automotive questions and questions about guitar effects boards, and it's just simply got it wrong. Like he has the manuals, he has the boards, and it's just flat out giving him wrong information.
Well, what good is it if it doesn't give accurate information? That's stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, I will admit that I use Gemini for small research activities, very small. Sometimes I'll look it up for recipes. Sometimes, just to get maybe a time frame on something. But I always do check anything that I look up when it comes to of grave importance. Because while I think Gemini's will get you in the ballpark, it's not going to give you a home run.
How dare you? How dare you?
Oh, I dare, because it's the truth. I mean, it is.
No, I agree. Now, I will say, to answer your question, Paul, I do find that I do begin a lot of my research by comparing and contrasting the same question to different AI models because of what they purport to be able to do. And, honestly, guys, like AI is not a joke anymore. Thousands of people this year in 2026 have already lost their jobs because industries and businesses within those industries are doing everything they can to save some money. So well, like it or not, it's how it is. And so I heard somebody say, if you're currently pursuing a software engineering degree in college right now, I'm not going to hire you, or at least not full time, because you're not worth paying all that money to. There's AI that can do it almost as good, if not better than you. So, Amazon fired, what was it, 3,000 people? I think it was either UPS or FedEx that fired 2,000 or 3,000 people already this year. I mean, that's.
Do they have AI driving the trucks and stuff, or what?
No. I it's not that, but any kind of like engineering work, accounting work.
A lot of customer service and call center work is kind of going, in some places, going away.
Yeah,
I'm afraid AI is here to stay.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I think we do need to take it seriously. I think it's here. Yeah, right. It's here to stay, and it supposedly is getting better and better. But I do agree, though, with those of you that say we as humans should have the final, approval, the final say so. We should never just take what it says and say, okay, that's the answer. Like, no, especially if it's something that matters. Like, let's say, honestly, let's say that you wanted to teach a child, maybe a teenager, how to build a firework. I mean, you could start with AI, but I definitely would corroborate it with your own independent research. I mean, you don't want to blow your hand or your head off.
I wonder. So my first manuscript, my first book, is a piece of shit. I wonder if I fed the manuscript into Chat GPT. I wonder if it could spit out a better version of my book.
Well,
than what I wrote it.
That is interesting. But going back to the researching kind of thing in AI, and I know many of us use Gemini and some of us use ChatGPT. I will say this, and this is what I found kind of interesting.
Grok.
Yeah, there's a whole different list of them.
Racial bigotry here.
No, but
I can't be racially bigoted against a damn algorithm.
That's true. That's true. But it's very interesting. I have a friend or someone that I used to know who we had these discussions during the pandemic. And they had their own opinions on masking and their own opinions on vaccinations. And they went to a certain search engine to look up information. And we'll just call that search engine Googly Eyes. They went to Googly Eyes to look things up. And they found that when they went to another search engine to look up that same information, that other search engine gave them different information. And so that, to me, was something very interesting. When they went to, go duck, it was a lot different than when they went to Googly Eyes. So I thought that was super interesting. And so now I've kind of switched over to using different search engines as well when I do research, just to see if I can get a non-biased perspective. A little more of a non-biased perspective.
Well, you reminded me that during the pandemic, you could not find good information because we were being so heavily censored. If you did not support the government narrative, like you're pretty much in jail, a virtual jail. Yeah.
They proved that. Elon Musk proved that with the release of the Twitter files.
Exactly.
Thank God for Elon Musk.
So it's not just you saying that, Anya. We actually have paper trail proof that, yes, things were not fairly and accurately represented in a balanced perspective.
Well, it's not just, even if you're a hater of Elon Musk, and I know he certainly has his fans and certainly has his haters, but even Mark Zuckerberg admitted it later on down the road. He admitted it. He said, we was put under a lot of pressure by certain administrations to release that or put that information out there.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
was me being diplomatic.
Well, I understand. And I was going to say, Russia and the United States have been not in the best relationship. So if I wanted to find something against what our narrative is saying, like main narrative, and what conservative media says, here conservative media, which often matches with the Russian perspective. So I would go to yandex.ru, yandex.ru, for those who care to know.
Did they pay you to say that?
No, they didn't pay me to say that, but I was able to find.
I think I've heard of that place, actually.
So they were trying to censor us, but Russia, while it's censoring its citizens, of course if it's gonna make America look negative, it's gonna put it out. So they did not filter much. So you could find what you need to find there. So Google was not much help during that time.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after these messages.
Hey everybody, are you enjoying the show? Are you enjoying the books? Are you enjoying everything we're doing here at Blue Butterfly Enterprises? If so, go up to bluebutterflyenterprises.com and check out our store and buy some of our memorabilia. Wouldn't it be cool to have a Becca's World hat or t-shirt or coffee mug or bumper sticker for your car? I'm going to get one for my car when I get a car that I can drive.
Still haven't got that car yet, though, Becca, have you?
No, I've got a lot of other things I'm working on right now. So.
I see. Well, maybe one day.
I'm gonna reveal some inside baseball. Yep, right now. You said don't worry. I will be careful and tactically precise when I say this. Don't worry. But you said you are involved in vision therapy, right? So
Oh yeah, I knew you'd be bringing that up on the show.
maybe you will be
So
able
what-
to drive.
So let me tell you guys what I'm doing. So, my brain, my optic nerve in my brain has been healing on its own all these decades, but very sluggishly. And then about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now, I finally found a doctor that does stem cell therapy, and so I've been doing stem cell therapy for a while now, and I've been getting great results with the stem cell therapy. But my eyes, I was having problems focusing, even though my eyes were getting better, and so and I go to the Brain Injury Association in Arizona, and at one of our meetings, at one of the game night in October, I think it was, one of the other girls mentioned her vision therapy classes that she was taking, and I thought, oh my, and she has a brain injury like I do, right? And her vision's affected by her brain injury like mine. And when I heard her say vision therapy, I thought, oh my God, that sounds like just what I need to strengthen my eye brain connection. And so I've been doing vision therapy for several months now. There's actually, they have a curriculum. Each week they do a different thing with you. And I'm due to finish sometime in May, I think. So,
And can we ask how has that been going?
oh, it's going very well.
Hey,
That is awesome.
okay,
Yeah, so,
that's good.
the brain is like a muscle, right? And the eye is like a muscle. And if you exercise them, they can get stronger, right?
I do agree with that.
And yeah, and so and I mean, my brain's been slowly getting stronger all these decades, but when I find something that helps me do it, helps me, my brain eye connection get stronger in leaps and bounds instead of just the mediocre stuff I can figure out how to do, I do it. And that's why I've been participating in this vision therapy. I'm getting a lot of benefit from it.
Well, I heard that from a broadcaster one time where he basically said, my body hasn't always looked great and I haven't always taken great care of my body, but I have taken great care of my brain. The brain is a muscle. And if you want to continue to be good at something, you got to continue to use it a lot. And he goes, I use my brain a lot, but my body, the rest of it, I may not use that as much as I should.
And if our viewers want more information on vision therapy, they should go back and look at our recent stuff we put out here at BBE Entertainment. Gino and I did a video of me describing vision therapy and demonstrating it for the viewers several weeks ago, and it's been circulating around on Facebook.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, but I'm sure
I only brought it up. Honestly, I only brought it up because I'm in your corner, Becca. I really am, and because you're doing some very pioneering things, and so I really do. I hope that it works out well for you.
I'm very pleased so far. Like,
well, because not everybody. Some people are like, oh, stem cell, like I'm gonna go mess with the innards of my body. Like, nah, I'm not. But you're like, yeah, let's go.
Well, listen, I was blinded in April of 1989 by a traumatic brain injury, right? And I was told by all the doctors that there was no hope because they couldn't figure out how to heal the brain, right? But my brain started healing on its own before I even left the hospital, right? And I was desperate to find anything back then to help heal my brain. And I couldn't do much research, but I was definitely keeping my ears open for anything I could hear, right? And the day I heard somebody, like on the news, I heard him talking about stem cell therapy, I thought, oh my God, that's what's going to heal me someday. And I knew it because when the doctors said there was no hope and there was nothing they could do, think about it. There was nothing they could do because if they cut into the brain again, they were just going to make the damage worse. So I knew it had to be something different. And so way back in the early 90s, I started looking for stem cell therapy. And I couldn't find it anywhere in Montana, but I found it here.
Well, look, and if I may jump very quick, I don't want to steal from Brandon's time, but just very quick. See, that kind of ties back to my topic, to my argument earlier, when they euthanize people when they tell the doctors are often wrong. They say,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
there's no hope, and the patient gets discouraged. That's another way when things get off the rails.
Well,
But
or the
And
doctor,
especially where blindness is concerned too.
yeah,
I just think it's the worst, basically tantamount to a death sentence.
Yeah, and doctors tend to overreact, and then they overreact, and that gets it influences the family's reaction, and then their reaction influences the patient who's struggling to recover. When they're all negative and stuff, and the patient's trying to have a positive outlook, it's really difficult for the patient to hold on to a positive outlook when they're going through that, and everybody around them doesn't believe they're going to be able to recover.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. Well, Brendan, what was your topic, Brendan? I still did not get it.
Yeah. So I can go through this quick. Let's see. We got. Well, we're gonna find that out right now, Mister. We are gonna find it out right now. So there was a there was a thought experiment proposed by Frank Jackson in the 1970s in a paper called Mary's Room. Okay, now here is kind of an overall breakdown of how this goes. Okay, and it kind of ties into a lot of the things that we've been discussing on tonight's episode. So Mary was a brilliant scientist. Okay, I mean brilliant and a multidisciplinary scientist, but she lived in a black and white room. Everything in the room, it was a monochromatic room, and she perceived the world outside through a black and white monitor, right? But remember, she was brilliant though, so she knew everything about how the brain hears, how the olfactory senses were, the sense of smell, the sense of taste, the sense of touch, the sense of sight.
How did she learn all of that?
Oh, because she was very, very well read,
Okay.
and she was examined and credentialed, and but her whole life she lived in this monochromatic room, and she could view and hear the outside world, but it was also through a monochromatic monitor, until there came a day when Mary was let out of the room. And when she was let out of the room, one of the first things that she saw as she walked out was a red apple. Now, the question is, did she experience a new sensation? Did she experience something new in that moment?
I bet she experienced a whole lot of new stuff. Did you say this is the first time she came out of that room ever?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure all her senses were overwhelmed with new experiences.
Oh, but remember, she was brilliant, though. She knew how the brain worked and how senses worked.
I think knowing and experiencing are two different things.
Mhm.
I can know if I do something. If I put my hand on the stove, I'll burn myself. But guess what? I don't know what a burn feels like until I put my hand on the stove and burn myself. And as a matter of fact, last week I did that. But not on the stove, but I did burn myself last week. Still healing. And so, I think that's where that difference though is.
Well, and that concept is elucidated more fully in that essay that I described, Mary's Room. But that concept is known as the concept of qualia, right? And so I think it's especially germane when we're discussing concepts like AI and even the humanoid bots that Elon Musk did talk there for a while about releasing. It's like, is there something uniquely and perceptually genuine about being human, about seeing an apple or tasting an apple?
Well, I think
even,
so.
Even if
I'm
you could
human, so I'm
perfectly
biased.
describe every aspect and detail of it. What?
I'm human, but I'm biased. So, but I mean, I think so. I mean, people say when
Alarm. Facebook. 3 minutes ago, the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute.
Sorry, guys.
I mean, people say that, when we form friendships as humans, we are forming an emotional connection with those people. Versus, when a dog sees another dog, it's like, oh, another dog. It's not as an emotional thing as a biological thing, is what people would say. So I think,
I just thought it was an interesting concept, an interesting thought experiment.
Whatever.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, how long was she in that room? And I know we're fixing to wrap up, but how long was she there?
I didn't read the paper in full, but I would assume probably 20, 25 years.
My
So
goodness.
do you know where our viewers or us could go read the paper?
Oh yeah. It's called Mary's Room by Frank Jackson. If you just type that into any search engine, I'm sure you'll find it. It was published in that format in the 1970s. So
when did she
But I
pass
still
away?
have a lot of. Sorry.
Oh no. Mary was the fictitious protagonist. It's just
okay.
called
She's not a
Mary's
real
Room, but
story.
Oh, fictitious. Okay.
Yeah.
This was a real thing.
Well,
Yeah, but then it kind of takes away a lot. In my mind, it takes a lot from it. Then.
No. But it's a thought experiment, is what it is. So the guy Frank Jackson who wrote this,
He's an idiot.
He was actually a philosopher. Okay, he was a philosopher. Whatever you think about philosophers.
Who cares?
But I think the issue with philosophy.
I care.
But the issue with philosophy, and I heard someone say this a few months ago, was that the issue with philosophy, and I understand what he's saying, is philosophy teaches you to ask a lot of questions, which is wonderful. We should ask questions. But the issue with philosophy is they don't give you a lot of answers.
Well, isn't that part of philosophy? Is you're coming up with your own answers? I like philosophy because you're like coming up with your own answers to problems, and that's what helps us survive in life, is because we have the ability to problem solve and come up with answers.
But you might come up with your own answers, but what if your answers ain't correct? In the sense of, what if okay, you think something is, say, the truth, if you will, but then say the facts come out and it's not. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, but I think this could be extrapolated though. Like, so I've long since held that some people who have abused drugs, maybe what they're seeing is not entirely in their head. Maybe it's not complete and utter randomness. Maybe they are actually perceiving things, and it's just overwhelming them. It's kind of a related concept, qualia. It's like, this lady knew everything about human senses, but then she came out of that room and saw an apple. Did she have a different experience? I don't know. I just think it's an interesting thought experiment.
But if someone's, say, doing a whole bunch
Can
of
I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't you say she was fictitious?
Yeah, right. But in
this fictitious thought study, she comes out of that room with all that knowledge, but she's not real. So
she's real. She's real
knowledge?
she's real in the concept of the page. It's just like you read a book. I mean, those people aren't real, but they're real in the novel. She's real in the paper.
Whatever.
And so it just makes you think, like, the question is, did she have a unique experience, and we're not going to delve into that, but what qualifies as a unique experience? I guess my time has elapsed. I am at the end of.
Well, I just think it boils down to make you think that you can know all you want. You can read and learn about it, but until you experience something, it's not going to be the same. It still can be helpful what you've learned, but the experience is different. Just like Paul said from the beginning.
There's a difference between being. Everyone can tell you this. There's a difference between being book smart and being actually smart. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and this isn't about intelligence. Remember, she was highly intelligent. It's about the quality of perception. So all I'm saying is just remember that if you buy one of Elon Musk's bots.
Well,
she was highly intelligent, but she wasn't real.
And she was, and if someone was actually like that, they would be lacking in experience, perception of the world around them. So if they came out of a closed room for the first time in decades and they saw an apple, as you're saying, like just because they've read a lot, if they've never seen an apple, they're not going to be like, oh, that's an apple hanging there. They'll be like, oh, there's something red hanging from that green thing that's brown, and you know what I mean?
Remember that when people laud all the advantages of AI, so because AI claims the opposite. AI claims, I am vastly superior to you. I have parallel processing. You know, and it's like, oh, but are you though? I don't think you are not an organic carbon-based life form. You are a soulless, cold, digital algorithm. That is all you are and can ever be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this has been a fascinating conversation. Didn't think it would go down this road.
Frank Jackson, everybody, look him up. Mary's Room, look it up and give us your own thoughts on the thought experiment.
I just hope that the world is never at the mercy of some crazy mad scientist who has the AI at his fingertips. You know what I mean? I don't want the whole world to fall victim to somebody like that.
No kidding, right? No.
Yeah, and it feels like AI should be learning your personality. In my case, it never happens. Like everybody knows I have very direct, to some people maybe too direct communication style. Like I don't put up with bullshit. So when I tell AI to say what I wanted to say, like, well, but I can't do this because, and it happens to other people too. That's what irritates me. That it gets, you know,
I've still never used
influence your thought.
ChatGPT. I'll have to download it and use it, I guess.
It can be helpful in some ways.
I agree with you, Anya. Now, I've trained Gemini, but yeah, sometimes it does say that stuff to me. But I've specifically trained it, to the best of my ability. But yeah, there is still some stuff that it won't. I can't point it at a lady and ask like, "Hey, do you think she looks hot?" Yeah, it won't answer that.
No, it won't even. It hardly gives you that information of what she looks like. Period.
Right.
Don't ask me how I know that. I'm just speaking from friends.
Sighted people make snap judgments all the time. Within 30 seconds of meeting someone, a sighted person has already made a lot of either conscious or subconscious judgments.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, even 10 seconds, I'd say. All they have to do is to look, to see how you dress, how you look, how you like lots of visual cues for sure.
So what do you guys think of an app that would enable blind people to get like those sorts of clues from a person with eyes on the other end of the app, like someone who could literally tell you if you look great for your blind date, or who could show you, or who could describe to you what a picture of a guy looks like, if a guy said
I mean, but it's subjective, right, rather than objective, right? In other words, that gets into philosophical thought, like what is beauty, right? I mean, beauty to me might be different than beauty to you, like.
But if the app could give better details, like it's a man or a woman, balding, long hair, short hair, blonde hair, brown hair, black hair, tall, short, broad-shouldered, scrawny, facial hair, no facial hair, glasses, no glasses.
I have been able to get Gemini to tell me those kind of details, but I had to specifically tell it.
Yeah, it's tough to make it do that. I've
heard. Tell me
I've
if they're
heard.
wearing jewelry. Tell me about.
Oh yes, you have, Paul.
I've heard. I can't say that I'm not. I have friends who told me that.
Well, sounds like we're out of time. Our alarms are going off.
So. Yeah. It's because of my hotness factor. Okay. 8 out of 10 on hotandnot.com. Okay.
Your hotness factor.
Yeah. Hi, ladies. Off the market. Sorry. Off the.
Yeah. You should have played the whatever drop.
I'm a happy one though.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay.
All right.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I will talk to you all next week.
Yeah. Thank you guys for the great show.
Yep. Thank you guys for your time and thanks for a great show. Do you guys have anything you want to add before we wrap it up?
I guess so. I
think we've added enough.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us for this exciting episode of The Blind View. Feel free to email us at beccameadows76@gmail.com or you can drop us a line in the chat box, or you can go up and check out our memorabilia. Thank you so much for joining us today, and please join us again next week. Peace out.
Absolutely,
That's a wrap,
guys.
y'all. Thanks,
Have a good
everybody.
one.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.